All right, look, we've all had bad days. You drop your toast butter side down, your Wi Fi cuts out, or your alarm goes off at 6 a.m. And in that moment, you think, man, it would be so much easier if literally nothing existed. And honestly, you're not wrong. Nothingness is free. It doesn't require energy or space or time or a mortgage. So, why on earth is there a universe full of stars, planets, mosquitoes, and overpriced coffee instead of just crickets? Actually, no, no crickets either. Crickets are something. Today, we're tackling the ultimate question: why is there something instead of nothing? Let's dive in. Back in 1714, a German philosopher named Gottfried Leibniz looked around and asked, why is there something rather than nothing? Nothing is simple and easy. Think of nothing as the ultimate lazy Sunday. No laws of physics to enforce, no gravity to maintain, no atoms to organize. Nothing is the default setting of existence. So, why did the universe decide to get out of bed, put on pants, and build 100 billion galaxies? Leibniz thought there had to be a reason. Modern physics, on the other hand, thinks the universe basically just tripped and fell into existence. When you ask a physicist how did something come from nothing, they get very excited and say, oh, because quantum vacuums fluctuate. To which normal human beings say, excuse me? Here's the trick. Physicists redefine the word nothing. To a physicist, nothing isn't a blank void, it's a quantum field that is completely empty. But even in an empty space, tiny particles called virtual particles pop into existence, high five each other, and disappear in a fraction of a second later. So, when physics says something came from nothing, what they actually mean is something came from a noisy, bubbling soup of quantum chaos, which feels a bit like ordering a plain pizza and getting one with extra cheese, pepperoni, and a side of wings. It gets funnier. During the Big Bang, the universe created equal amounts of matter and antimatter. Now, when matter and antimatter meet, they explode and destroy each other completely. Poof, gone, back to nothing. So, by all logic, the universe should have deleted itself 5 seconds after it started. But for every 1 billion particles of antimatter, there were 1 billion and 1 particles of matter. That single extra particle survived the ultimate cosmic battle royale. Everything you see, stars, trees, pizza, your mother in law, you, me, we are all literally just the leftover trash from a math error at the beginning of time. Some scientists think the reason we have something is purely a numbers game. Imagine an infinite number of universes popping up like bubbles in a giant pot of boiling water. In 99.999% of those universes, nothing happens. No stars, no light, just an empty void. But If you roll the dice an infinite number of times, eventually one universe accidentally rolls a 6 and creates galaxies, water, and a human brains. We aren't special. We're just sitting in the one universe that didn't crash on launch day. Finally, theoretical physicist Max Tegmark came up with a crazy idea. What if the universe isn't made of physical stuff at all? What if physical reality is just math? Think about it. 1 plus 1 equals 2 is true whether the universe exists or not. You don't need a physical world for geometry or numbers to work. So maybe nothingness was impossible because mathematical truth has to exist. And we're just living inside a complex equation that realized it was calculating itself. So, why is there something instead of nothing? Maybe it's a quantum soup bubbling over. Maybe it's a tiny math error during the Big Bang. Or maybe the universe just couldn't resist making a reality where you could watch this video. Either way, you exist today, so if you want to make the most of your accidental existence, hit that like button, subscribe to Shifted Lens, and let me know in the comments below, would you prefer a universe with something or a universe with nothing? See you next time.